Divorced, beheaded and died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. I'm Henry VIII, I had 6 sorry wives. Some might say I ruined their lives.
Welcome, friends. Let's talk about the obscurities of the Middle Ages. It's where knights drank soup from their helmets, pigs got the death penalty, and doctors diagnosed you by sipping your pee. If you thought medieval history was just plagues and jousts, then buckle up, Buttercup, because we're going to dive into the 10 things so absurd they make modern reality TV just look lame. Expect animal trials, weaponized fashion, and the medieval version of, sorry babe, it's just not a good night. So let's get down to being weird. History books skip these facts for a reason. Because some are stupid. Some are just downright genius. Most are both. But one thing's for sure. After you see this video, you will never look at soup, sex, or bees the same way ever again. Number 1. Medieval teeth were weirdly nice. Despite the total lack of toothpaste and a diet that could best be described as dirt and sadness, medieval peasants actually had pretty good teeth. The secret? What your dentist has been telling you. No sugar. Just scratchy bread that doubled as dental scrub, and meat so tough it practically filed their molars for them. Archaeologists have studied the teeth of medieval skeletons and found fewer cavities than today. Ironically, your $12 organic mouthwash isn't doing as much as a medieval turnip. Sorry. Turns out, the rot really kicked in during the sugar-crazy Renaissance, when Europeans started mainlining sweets like 16th century toddlers. Until then, their smiles were pretty mini for people who bathed maybe twice per year. Number 2. Trial by combat is totally normal. Forget lawyers. If someone accused you of theft or adultery in medieval Europe, you could literally fight them to prove your innocence. Because God apparently doubled as a UFC referee. You'd show up to court, strap on some armor, and beat the heck out of each other until someone won or died. If you lived, congratulations. You're not guilty. Probably. Too weak or lazy to fight? No worries. Remember Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones? You could hire a champion to brawl for yourself. Because nothing says justice system like outsourcing your redemption to a local mercenary with rage issues. Number 3. Animals went to court. No joke. A pig was once put on trial for murder. The courtroom had a judge, a jury, and yes, a pig in the defendant box. The verdict? Guilty. They hanged the porker. Medieval courts truly believed animals could be criminals. Insects got evicted for eating crops. Goats were charged with witchcraft. Honestly, some cats probably had better legal representation than you do. And these weren't backyard punishments. They involved formal charges, public executions, and in some cases, an appointed defense attorney. Justice was blind, and apparently a little drunk. Number 4. Doctors tasted pee for science. Back before MRIs and blood tests, medieval doctors got to the bottom of your illness by sipping on your golden stream. They really tasted urine to diagnose you. They had color charts, smell scales, and yes, even flavor guides. Sweet meant, you got it, diabetes. Sour, maybe an infection. Extra spicy, you probably had a demon or 3. This wasn't fringe medicine either. Urinalysis was a top-tier method. Some doctors carried their own personal urine flasks. So next time you're sick, just be glad your doc isn't reaching for a chalice. Number 5. Knights had price tags. Killing a knight in a battle was dumb. Capturing him? Big money. Knights were basically walking ransom checks, wearing 60 pounds of shiny regret. They carried engraved badges or coats of armor so enemies could figure out where to mail the ransom bill. War wasn't personal. It was transactional. It was considered honorable. You didn't just murder Sir Geoffrey of beef on trout. You politely detained him, billed his family, and maybe offered him soup while you waited. Number 6. Bees were birds. Medieval people thought bees were birds. Featherless, honey-puking birds. And nobody argued because science back then was mostly just aggressive guessing. Bees had wings. Birds had wings. Case closed. Their classification system was basically, does it fly? Bird. Does it not? Maybe a demon. This theory lasted for centuries. It took a while before someone said, hey, wait a minute. This bird lives in a wax house and makes sweet goo with its butt. Number 7. Dance until you die. In 1518, a woman in Strasbourg started dancing and just didn't stop. More people joined. Hundreds danced nonstop for days. Several dropped dead. Medieval flash mob, but horrifying. Some say it was mass hysteria. Others blame moldy bread with LSD vibes. Either way, it was the worst cardio class in history. City officials tried everything. Music, priests, even designated dance zones. Nothing worked. People just kept grooving until the Grim Reaper tapped them out. Number 8. Soup helmets were real. Some knights had special holes in their helmets so they could sip on soup without removing them. Because obviously, risking decapitation is fine, but showing your chin, preposterous. Scandalous. Broth was battlefield fuel. You needed your calories to smash peasants, and fabulous doing it. Hence the medieval version of Camelback. Imagine chugging chicken stew through a straw while yelling, "For the king!" That's not just war. That's performance art. Number 9. Ferrets were fashion. Fancy nobles used to wear live ferrets around their necks like wriggling stoles. Yes, a ferret is a weasel. Yes, it was alive. And yes, it sometimes did poop on them. These ferrets weren't just stylish. They're functional. If you got rats, boom! You're accessorized and pest-free. The medieval version of a Prada purse with teeth. People treated these animals like both fashion and tools. Like if your Rolex could bite burglars. Lastly, at number 10, the no fun calendar. Pope Innocent III basically invented a religious dry spell. He banned sex on Sundays, feast days, Lent, Advent, and pretty much any day that God might be watching. That meant over 100 sex-free days a year. Hope you enjoy your celibate Thursdays, Jeff. And don't even think about it on Christmas. Violation meant sin, shame, and a trip to confessional. Nothing kills a mood like explaining to Father Benedict why you got frisky on St. Boring's Day. So what did we learn? The Middle Ages were like an existential meltdown recorded by a drunk time traveler. People danced themselves to death, wore carnivorous accessories, and let pigs stand trial. Their teeth were nice. Their science was dumb. Their fashion was armed. Honestly, they were either centuries ahead or completely feral. Possibly both. So next time you like to feel that modern life is chaotic, just remember, at least your doctor isn't tasting your pee, and you've never had to duel your neighbor over your property lines yet.